Good morning, my friends, and welcome to a daily dose of inspiration. Thank you for joining today. There's a Jewish expression that says, life has ups and ups. Even what seems like a setback, even what seems like a descent, is really for the purpose of something greater, a greater blessing and greater light. This is true about the very soul and its journey into this world. When the soul descends into this world, into a body, into the physical world, for the soul, it is considered a descent, but its purpose is the transformation of darkness into light, and it helps the soul achieve a greater level, an ascent. And this is true about every aspect of life. It's interesting that there's been a study done about what separates the top 5% of neurosurgeons in this country and the worst and the bottom 5%. And they looked at many different factors like schooling, doctors, the hospitals they're practicing in, and so on and so forth. But what they found consistently is the one attribute, the one characteristic that separates them is the top 5% were doctors that when things went wrong, they took responsibility. They said, this was my mistake, and they learned from the mistake and they grew. As opposed to the bottom 5%, which doctors who always found ways to, of course, blame others for their mistakes and not to take responsibility. So in other words, when we have a setback, when we make a mistake, it's an opportunity for growth, to become the best. And this is also true about the Torah reading today. Today's Torah reading about the altar and the altar being inaugurated. The altar was a place to bring sacrifices, to take responsibility, to say sorry for mistakes, to acknowledge where we have unfortunately fallen. And the altar was lifted up above the ground, and you had to go up a ramp to go up the altar to remind a person that acknowledging a setback and dealing with a setback is an opportunity to go up, to grow. And of course, in the world we live in today, we are facing a tremendous setback, a tremendous crisis, a tremendous form of darkness. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of suffering, a lot of uncertainty. And there is no question that our job is to transform this darkness into light and to make sure that we use this setback as an opportunity to grow as individuals, and as we've been saying, as a society, that we can create a better, a kinder, a more empathetic, a more truthful society, a better world for ourselves, for our children, and our grandchildren. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining.